Hey everyone, hope you're doing good. So today we are going to be tier ranking all of the books I read in 2024. I am so excited to share these books with you. A lot of them were really great. I was actually kind of surprised. Um, some not so great, but that's okay. We'll get into it. But first, let's discuss a little bit about my goals for this year. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Elena, you, she, her pronouns, so nice for you to be here. I mainly talk about books, but I am planning to also discuss like neurodivergence, maybe disability, because I am neurodivergent, so like, I thought it would fit maybe. And also, just more bookish things, mainly bookish things because I like books. So my goal for 2024 was to read 25 books this year. And I know what you're thinking. Like, I watch YouTubers who read 25 books in a month. My best friend reads 40 books every month, whatever it may be. Good for them. I am not one of those people that can do that. Like I said, I'm neurodivergent, I have dyslexia, and I'm a slow reader. So it actually can be quite hard for me to read all those books in a year. I actually only read 22 books this year, which I'm not going to lie to you all. I'm slightly disappointed in that fact, but it's okay. I'm so proud of myself. And in this video, I will actually be also talking about the 3 books I'm currently reading because I'm more than like 60% done with all of them. So I thought I might as well just add them in there for a little extra fun. And there also will be some books I read for classes on there, but only the ones that I like really liked, I'm really excited to get down to it. So we'll be tier ranking. So let's get to it. So now to get into the tier ranking portion of the video, I'm so excited to show you guys my tiers I came up with. So the first is left no crumbs. You know how everyone's been saying like, oh, she ate and left no crumbs, like that whole thing. That is what this is inspired by. This book ate and left no crumbs. I nibbled it up and it was delicious and amazing. And secondly, we have Chef's Kiss. These are books that were wonderful. They did what they had to do. They were great, and I loved it. Something maybe was missing here or there. Perhaps some crumbs fell. Yeah, but they are Chef's Kiss, and they are really good. So next is Ingredients Are There. These are books where the ingredients are there. Everything that needs to be there is right there, but it's just something just doesn't quite click. Like something just isn't right in the book. So next we have Underbaked, which is similar to Ingredients Are There, but something is missing. Like not everything is quite there. Like perhaps, you left out the baking soda. Like you can't do that, you know what I mean? You just can't do that. Like where's the egg, It's just underbaked. Something isn't right. And Compost is just like, let's just start over from scratch. It just wasn't there. Wasn't there for me at all. We'll start with one of my faves, Secret Society of Irregular Witches, or the Super Secret Society of Irregular Witches, sorry. Oh no, is it Left No Crumbs or Chef's Kiss? Because it's so good. And it made me feel so happy inside. And I loved the magic and like the making potions vibe and collecting moon dust or whatever it was. But it's just like, I don't know. Okay. She left no crumbs. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. I think that makes sense. She left no crumbs. She was great. So on to the next one. Ooh, Study in Drowning. Oh, okay. So, yeah, this is about a girl who is an architect. She's in architect school. She really wants to be a writer, but women aren't allowed to write in her time, in her fantasy world, wherever she lives. And then she's called upon by her favorite author to redo his house, basically. Except I guess her favorite author's son, because her favorite author recently died. And there's lots of crazy shit that happens. A little romance. Yeah. I don't know though. I listened to the audiobook and it was good. I think I would have liked it more if I had just read it, honestly. So the ingredients definitely were there. It had everything, kind of dark academia-ish, kind of oh, I loved the by the water vibe, and everything was soaked with salty air and must and mist, and I really liked that. I think it was just underbaked for me. The ingredients were there, but the special thing was missing. Something was missing, and that made the book underbaked. It just didn't hit. It really didn't hit. Sorry. Let's see. Ooh, maybe. Okay, so I read this book for school, A Small Place by Jamaica Kincaid. It's about her island that she grew up on as a child, Antigua, which is right around in the Caribbean near Jamaica. And it's about the exploitation her country faces, and the colonization and the history of that. And it was really good. Chef's Kiss. I loved this book. So good. That's why it's on here. There are some college books on here, and the only ones that I added are ones that I really liked or really hated, because I want to talk about them. So stay tuned for the ones I really hated. Okay, let's do a good one now. Gwen and Art are not in love. I love this book. No, she does not deserve Chef's Kiss. She deserves Left No Crumbs. Lex Croucher, you have my heart, because this book did things to me. And it's about these 4 teenagers trying to figure out who they are. 2 are royalty. They're trying to grapple with themselves being queer and being royalty and what that means. And 1 is a lord's son, and the other one is the only lady knight in the kingdom. So of course she's a lesbian. I mean, come on, you guys. So good. It made my heart do things. I can't even explain to you guys how much I loved this book. I mean, okay, I'm thinking of making little 10-minute videos of just you should read this book and why. And if I do that, then that is going to be a video that I do, because that book is so good. So next we're going to do Bloom. Y'all, I talked about this book in the halfway through the year wrap. I don't know what I called it. It was definitely something better than that. But I don't know, it just didn't hit for me. Oh, I don't know if it's quite compost though. The book was fine. It was fine. The art style was great. It's a graphic novel. It features this young boy. He's a teenager. I guess he's not young. I mean, that is young, but he's not a child. But it features this teen boy who wants nothing to do with his family's bakery and business, and he wants to be a musician and move to New York and do musician stuff in New York. And then he meets this other boy who's wow, your family, they bake? That's so cool. That's my dream. And they kind of fall in love, and I don't know. It didn't do anything for me. It could have been, come back to the storyboard. Let's really work this out and flesh out the characters. Because it didn't have that for me. Ooh. No, let's do a good one. Okay, Legendborn. left no crumbs. Legendborn, so good. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to tell you guys about this book. Okay, it's about 16-year-old Bree goes to this like pre-college program in the State School of Virginia, I think. And she goes to the state school as their like running start kind of program, like for young high school age students who show promise. They go to the school and she's there, and then she finds out like magic is real and there's ties to this like Arthurian cult, and it's really really interesting. And there's like monsters and I mean, I guess they're demons, they're not like monsters, and people have superpowers, and she finds out a lot about her roots and her ancestry and her mother who recently passed away, and it delves so beautifully into grief and what it means to like learn about your past and what that means for yourself now, and how helpful that can be when trying to find who you are and your place in the world. And I just thought it was really beautiful. I love that the main character is a woman of color, because I feel like it really diverts a lot of tropes that typical women of color have within like fantasy novels, and it's just really beautifully written and made me so happy to read it. So please read it. It was really great, and like I said, it left no crumbs. So let's just do another school one. Let's get another school one out of the way. Maud Martha by Gwendolyn Brooks. Really good. Yeah. Chef's Kiss. It was really good. You should read it if you're interested in anti-racist writing, black feminist writing. Yeah, it was good. It's about a young black woman and what she goes through throughout her whole life. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Read it for class, but I really enjoyed it. And you should read it if you're into black feminism, or feminism in general, or black studies, because it's all of those. So next, we're going to talk, let's just talk about Bloodmarked, because we have Legendborn. Bloodmarked is Chef's Kiss. Really good. This is one I will tell you I'm not done with yet. I'm like 70% done with it. I really like it. It doesn't quite have the same magic as the first book, I would say, especially at the beginning. But as it gets going, like it's going. It's good. And I'm excited to see how it ends, and I'm excited to see how Tracy Deonn continues the series, because she has me gripped, my man. She has me gripped. And, okay, something I didn't mention. There are very, like, stereotypical YA fantasy tropes, but the way that she subverts them and kind of discusses them, interestingly, in the novel is so fascinating to me. Like, there is kind of a love triangle, but it's more than just a love triangle. We're gonna save this if I ever make a video about these books, because they're really good. But it's very interesting, and you should totally read it. So good. Okay, let's do, oh my gosh. Okay, Heartstopper. I think you all know where she's going. Heartstopper, beautiful, beautiful book. I love it so much. You've probably read it or heard of it or watched the TV show. Amazing coming-of-age story about young queer teens. I love it. It makes my heart feel so happy, because it has a good ending. I read like 3 or 4, I don't remember, 3 or 4 of the Heartstoppers this year. I must have read all of them. I don't know. I read 4 or 5. Point is, I read multiple Heartstoppers, and I'm not putting them all on the list because they're all quite short, and I have like very similar feelings about all of them. So Heartstopper, the first book, will showcase how I feel about all of them. Left no crumbs, delicious. Thank you so much, Alice Oseman. I love you, and I want to read your full-length novels so badly, but I unfortunately don't own any of them, and I own so many other books, so I will be reading those first. But I will get around, I promise. Ooh, let's do a fun one. Okay. The Love Hypothesis. Guys, I didn't want to like this book. I really didn't want to like this book. But it was good, okay? I'm on the Allie Wood Hazel train. Allie Wood Hazel. Allie Hazelwood. I am on the Allie Hazelwood train, not the Allie Wood Hazel. Gosh, my brain just does a lot of flip-flopping. But yes, I'm on the Allie Hazelwood train. It was good, and I really want to read, what's the other one? Love Theoretically. I really want to read that. I think I'm going to do a buddy read with one of my friends, and I also really want to read Bride. One of my friends at school has it in her dorm room, and so I'm thinking I'm going to borrow it from her because books are expensive, and I have no money. I'm a college student, guys. I don't know what more to tell you, but actually really good. And I listened to the audiobook and I loved it so much. That one spicy scene with audiobook experience was really interesting. I've talked about this before, but I like listening to romance novels as audiobooks because you don't need to know all the details like you do with a fantasy book, but sometimes the experience backfires a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna just do it. Pride and Prejudice. It's a classic. Everyone's like favorite book. Okay, not everyone, obviously. I didn't like it. I barely liked it. I don't know what to tell you. It just didn't have, there was no spark for me. It didn't have the joy. Like, I liked Elizabeth. I thought she was a little annoying, I will admit. But I liked that she was diverting all these social norms in her time. I thought that was really cool. And I liked Darcy, but I just didn't really see it between the two of them. Like, where's the chemistry? Jane Austen, I know you're a very famous writer, but my girl, where's the chemistry? Where's the kiss? We don't get a kiss. We get a happily ever after with a marriage, but not a kiss. I don't even think we get a little kiss on the hand. Like, at least give me a little, like, bow down to her, give her a kiss on her hand. I don't know. I needed more. And it was also the straightest, whitest book I've ever read in my whole life. And that says something. But where to put it? I think Underbaked. It's not the worst thing I've ever read, right? And I also do have a tough time with the old-timey speak. Perhaps because of my dyslexia. Perhaps just because it's not intuitive to read that shit. So, it's not intuitive to read that stuff. So, I don't know. But Underbaked. It goes in Underbaked. Ugh, let's do a happy one. Okay, House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. I loved this book so much, you guys. It made me so happy. It made my heart so happy. It's about an older man. He's like probably in his 40s, 50s-ish. He's a social worker. He works with children, magical children specifically, in the foster system. And he's called to the House in the Cerulean Sea. And there he meets the children and he ends up falling in love. Not with a child, don't worry, but with the headmaster. Is that what they call them? I don't know. The master of the orphanage and all the children. And he grows and learns about himself and about prejudice. And it's lovely. And I loved it so much. Let's just get the rest of the school books out of the way, shall we? Vivid by Beverly Jenkins. Compost. The idea for this book was great. Like, what was it, 1800s, 1700s? It was like, maybe it was like 1780, 1870? Something like that. She is a Black doctor, and she goes to this small community in the middle of nowhere in, like, Minnesota? I don't know, somewhere where it's snowy, somewhere where it gets a lot of snow. And she meets a lot of criticism from the town because she's a woman. Women can't be doctors. And the town is primarily black, so they really were looking for a black doctor specifically because they take their ailments seriously. Because white doctors during this time did not. And, now it's a whole other ball field. But yeah, during this time, okay, wait, sorry, my foot is desperately asleep. I can't even feel it. Okay. I'm fine. Anywho, yeah, not for me. It had so much spice and not the good kind. And he kept talking about her berries and like her body in a really weird way. And he was like, I'll teach you something they didn't teach you in medical school. No, not for me. I read this for my romance novel class, which, by the way, great class. We did not read good books, though. I was supposed to read all of them, but I DNF'd like 3 of them because I just couldn't, and I just skimmed them. So, don't do that, kids. But honestly, we all do it, so it's okay. Okay, Home by Toni Morrison. Chef's kiss. I liked it. It was good. You should read it. Yeah, I talked about this more in my half-year review video. I still can't remember the name of it. So if you are interested, you can go check out that video, because I talk about it there. Okay, let's see. Circe! Oh, we finally get when ingredients are there. So the ingredients for Circe are there, obviously, because I put them in that category. I put it in that category. Unfortunately, they weren't mixed, or they weren't baked, or I don't know what happened here, Madeline Miller. I really don't, because this has everything I would ever want. It's witchy. It's a woman, like, going against societal norms and patriarchy, and she goes and lives on her own island by herself with, like, a tiger and a bunch of animals, and she makes her little potions. Beautiful. Like, what more could you want? But then, unfortunately, it just didn't hit. It didn't click at all. And I really don't know why. I didn't really feel anything for Circe. It's not like she was one of those characters who was really into her power, and she wasn't evil for evil's sake. Like, sometimes those are fun to read, right? But she wasn't, like, scared of her magic either. She didn't want to do good either. I don't know what her motives are. Like, she was scorned by society, and I understand that. I do. And then I found out how it ended. And oh my god, why? There are so many alternative endings to Circe's story. Like within Greek mythology, there are so many. So why didn't we pick one of the other ones? I don't know. I really don't know. It's not good. So let's do the other Greek mythology book. Oh, where is she? Okay, 1 second. All right, Stone Blind by Natalie Hayes. I think that's her last name, right? Yeah. Same thing. Ingredients are there. But what happened, Natalie? Such a good premise. It's about Medusa and how she has been scorned by society. Similar to Circe. I literally used the exact same phrase. She's an outcast, right? She was too beautiful. Athena was jealous, and then she was assaulted by Poseidon. And, this is another Greek mythology retelling, if you couldn't tell by my usage of Athena, Poseidon, and Medusa. I am a Greek mythology nerd. Anyways, it's just, it has such potential to be so good, and to be such a good, like, feminist novel, critiquing patriarchy and society for what they do for women and for villainizing women when really it's not her fault. It was Poseidon's fault that she turned out how she was. And it just didn't click for me. Story was there. Like the writing, she's a great writer. It flipped between so many different perspectives and was it was like third person. But it felt very far away from Medusa. And maybe that's why, because I'm more of a character reader. So perhaps the fact that I couldn't really connect to Medusa like that made it really hard for me. Good book. Give it a go if you're not a character reader and if you really enjoy Greek mythology and feminism. But it just didn't do anything for me. Okay. Along similar lines is Bunny by Mona. What's her last name? I cannot read it. Awad. Okay. Mona. Our girl Mona. I wanted to like Bunny so badly because I've heard so much about it. I was not reading it. I was listening to the audiobook and I was talking about it with one of my friends in class, and my professor was like, "Oh my god, I read that book and none of my friends have read it. When you finish it, will you tell me what you thought about it and we can talk about it?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course. Like that sounds great. Yeah, I'd love to." And then I finished it and I was like, "What the actual heck did I just read?" Maybe I haven't been in the world of academia long enough to know what is happening with this, and maybe I could be better at spotting, what is it called? Oh my goodness. Come on, brain, you can do it. Symbols. I could be a lot better at spotting symbols and what things symbolize in stories, perhaps. I didn't get it. But basically our main character kind of accidentally joins a cult. She is a grad student at a prestigious college. Lots of rich kids are there. She herself is not rich. And she kind of thinks herself better than all of them because she's had to work so hard. I'm just gonna move on from Bunny because I don't know what to say because I don't really know what happened in that one. Also, another book I did the audiobook for, and I upped the speed a lot. So perhaps it's my fault. I don't know, you guys, but it's okay. You know, not everything is for everyone. So let's do Africa Risen. Really good. It's a short story anthology put together by 4 authors or editors, I don't remember. But it's basically just a bunch of short stories from authors who are from or live in Africa. And they're all like speculative fiction, which is basically like sci-fi, fantasy, surrealism? Is that just an art term? Basically anything that strays from what we think of as reality. I didn't read all of the short stories, but I read enough to know that it's good. And if you're looking for like a short story compilation, please pick it up. It's really great. So good. I discovered so many new authors. Might be picking up some of their work as well. Totally give it a go if you're interested. Really good. I highly recommend. And let's go with Rule of Wolves next. Okay, again, Chef's Kiss. Won't go too much into detail about Rule of Wolves because it is a sequel to Six of Crows and Shadow and Bone and that whole universe. So if you're into that, pick it up. I liked it. I thought both of the books in the series were good. Both of the books in like the duology that comes after Six of Crows and Shadow and Bone. Rule of Wolves and King of Scars. King of Scars is first and then Rule of Wolves. There's so many books in this world, you guys. It's very confusing. I thought it was good. If you're into the world, if you've read the other books, pick it up. It was worth it. Let's see. Ooh, y'all. The Nightmare Before Christmas. I bought this book kind of on accident. It was an impulse buy. I was at the bookstore with some of my friends, and and they found the book first. Actually, I didn't find it. They found it, and they were like, "This looks hilarious," and I picked it up, and I was like, "Oh my god, that looks really good. It'd be really fun to buddy read with someone." And I said that thinking of my girlfriend and thinking it would be fun to read this together over winter break. We both celebrate Christmas, so I thought it'd be really fun. And my friend was like, "Oh yeah, let's buddy read it together." And they picked one up, and then they handed one to me, and they were like, "Let's do it." And I was like, okay, sure. Not exactly what I had in mind, but you know what? You're great. And it would be nice to be able to bond over a book. So, yeah, read this with them, and I haven't talked to them about it yet, but I'm so excited to once we get back to school. Chef's Kiss, it's so freaking silly, you guys. It's so silly. So basically, The Nightmare Before Christmas is about Cole, our main character, and Hex, one of the other characters, falling in love. But there's a slight catch because Cole is the Prince of Christmas, and Hex is the Prince of Halloween. And more than that, Cole is supposed to marry the Princess of Easter. Of course, he and the Princess of Easter, Iris, his best friend, have no say in this. It's just their parents doing all the bidding, trying to decide who would be the most beneficial for their children to marry, how would it benefit their communities, and how would it benefit their holidays most of all. Halloween shows up, and they say, this is BS, because it's not fair for Christmas to have all this power and to then marry off Christmas's son or prince with Easter. And then the King of Christmas, Santa, he's not really Santa, he's the king, I guess, I don't really know. But Santa, the King of Christmas, is like, okay, fine, then you can enter in this shenanigan, this race for suitors for Iris, and Iris will pick at the end of the month who she wants to marry, Christmas or Halloween. And guess who falls in love? Not Iris and Cole. So anyways, really good book, very cute, very silly. You should totally read it. Okay, let's do one last stop. Ingredients Are There or Chef's Kiss? Sorry, Casey McQuiston. Okay, so one last stop is about our girl August, who recently moved to New York City, and she's going to college. She, I think is supposed to graduate soon. She's been going to college for like 5 or 6 years because she really couldn't decide what she wanted to do. And on the way to or from school, she sees this girl on the subway and thinks that she's like the hottest girl she has ever seen in her whole life. And they hit it off. And it turns out that this girl, Jane, is actually bound to the subway system, and she can't leave. And Jane is actually from the 70s and doesn't know it. She doesn't know what's happening to her, and basically the two of them build this romance, and then they figure out how to fix what has happened. And I liked the romance. I thought the romance was really cute, and I loved the friends. All the side characters were fabulous. It didn't need this whole weird, random subway magic thing. It didn't make sense to me. I'm here for a sapphic novel. I love my sapphic novels. And I liked their relationship. Like I said, those ingredients were there. But it just didn't quite have the click. And I feel like I'm being really harsh, but honestly, the only reason I really, really enjoyed reading it is because I was reading it at the same time as my girlfriend, because we bought it together, and that was really fun. But it just didn't quite do it for me, unfortunately. Sorry, Casey McQuiston. So we're going to not do the last Casey McQuiston book because I want to talk about that. But we are going to do The Reformatory. This, oh my God, where should it go? Okay, let me tell you about it first, I suppose. We'll just let it hang out here. So The Reformatory is about 12-year-old Robbie Stevens in, I think it's 1950s, Florida. And he kind of screwed up. Not really his fault, though. Kind of racism's fault. He kicked a white boy in the shin while protecting his sister. Actually, not in the shin, in the knee. And this white boy, his father is like a big landowner. It doesn't go well for Robbie Stevens. He is sent to the Reformatory, which is a school where bad children are sent instead of jail, basically. And he is forced to work. But there's more to it than that. It's more than just him being sent to a school and doing physical labor, because there are also the children are abused in this place, and people try to run away all the time. They have a graveyard for those people who try to run away. As you can imagine what they do to them when they're caught. It hurts to read, kind of. Yeah, but it's so good. And I love the aspects of like fantasy that are in this book. Oh my God. Like, Robbie will be working in the fields one day and he sees like ghosts of the boys who had died where he is right now. And it's kind of terrifying, kind of amazing. I love it so much. And parallel to Robbie's experience, we get his sister Gloria, who's working tirelessly to try to get him out of the Reformatory. Because she knows that he doesn't deserve to be there. She is older, she's 16, I believe, and she works with the community. She works with NAACP lawyers. It's so good. So good. Kind of tragic. You have to be in the right set of mind. But it's an amazing book. And I think, oh, I'm sorry, Chef's Kiss. Really good. Could be a little bit better, but really good. I don't know what about it could be a little better, but something could be a little better. And now we're going to do Redwood and Royal Blue. Kind of obvious it's in the Left No Crumbs category because I love this book with all of my heart and soul. It's in my top 5. And I love it, and I will never stop talking about it. And last but certainly not least is Cleat Cute. It's so good. Cleat Cute is about this woman who just graduated college and she wants to be a soccer player. That is her dream, has been her dream since she was a little child. And she gets drafted for the national women's team, I believe, to practice with them. Okay, I'm not a soccer lesbian. I don't know. I'm not even a lesbian. I am just a queer. She gets drafted by them. I don't really know how it works. But then she joins the New Orleans team, the Louisiana team. Like I said, I don't know how this works. I played soccer when I was little. I know how the game works, but I don't know how the inner workings of the whole thing go. Anywho, she joins the team, and her idol is the captain of this team. She has looked up to her for years, and also thinks she's kind of hot, which, you know, kind of is. And the two of them have this tension together. Phoebe, the main character, really wants to be Grace's friend. She's really happy and go lucky, and she's excited to be on this team. And Grace, on the other hand, has been doing this for 10 years. They're not that different age-wise, but Grace was just in the Olympics and she was like 17, and Phoebe is now like, 27? Something like that. Maybe a little younger. I think Grace is now like 27 and Phoebe's like 25 or 24 or something like that. And Grace is kind of lost the love of the sport. She is team captain. She does a lot of PR. She does a lot of commercials and interviews, and she hates that stuff. She's very private. She is extremely quiet. She doesn't like those things. She likes the sport. And basically, by falling in love with Phoebe, she falls in love with soccer. And it's so beautiful. I love it so much. And they talk about neurodivergence. What more could you ask for? Sapphic, soccer, neurodivergence. And the spice is good, you guys. The spice is good. Amazing. So that is my beautiful tier ranking of the books I read in 2024. I hope you enjoyed. I'm actually surprised how high everything is ranked. I thought there would be more down below. But you know, that is a good thing. Happy surprise. Happy accident, I suppose. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books. If you liked them, if you hated them. Maybe you found a new book to read next year. And also let me know what your top books of this year were, because I am so excited to hear. I love watching wrapped videos about books, so please tell me down below because I want to know. Anyways, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, night, evening, afternoon, morning, I don't know. Bye!